Welcome back to What She Said Sports. All right, it is the nighttime edition. I don't know if y'all can see me. Thank you for watching. All right, so we are back, and I put up a video, so y'all should see a video that I made earlier today with Shedeur Sanders from minicamp. All right, so essentially, Shedeur Sanders had one hell of an interview today. Y'all know Mary Cabot was there trying to throw him off on his game, but he wasn't having it. Shedeur is, we talk about how he's media trained, he's media savvy also. He's just not trained to sidestep the landmines. He knows exactly what to say at any given moment. And it reminds me of what Coach Prime talks about when he says Shedeur has seen everything on the football field. There's, 6 coordinators, high school, 3 championships, Jackson State, 2 SWAC championships, 2 Celebration Bowls, Colorado. He been through the gauntlet, right? And then look what happened to him in the draft, and he's still standing. He's becoming a Russell Wilson. That's what he's becoming. You're not going to be able to take him down either. And as you can see, so far so good as a rookie, right? So, he's becoming, he's resistant to everything they trying to throw at him. And it was like that before the draft. So there was some quotes from his interview today. Like, they're asking him about the fact that he doesn't get all the reps. He said, I have time. I have time. He talks about that he's focused on the little things, like getting from under center quicker. He said, even though he was 83% today, he had some misses. He want to work on that. So he's perfecting his game. He's focused on the weight room. He's not focused on QB1. He's focused on getting acclimated to Cleveland system, learning the plays. He said he focused on his playbook. Because I'm sure while the plays aren't complex, I have a feeling they're detailed. And there's probably a lot of them. So once again, they try to throw something at him by holding something away from him, playing keep away. And once again, he's not phased. What happened in the draft? Oh, he's sliding down. And he said he didn't care where he go. The one photo I like of Shedeur is with him with his Browns hat on after he got drafted, and to see the genuine joy on his face and his whole family. They were celebrating like he went number 2 overall and made $40 million. But it said it's $4 million
for the next 4 years, right? I look at that picture every now and then. It's motivation for anybody who feel like people playing keep away with getting to the next level. What did I say? Don't come into this league with no expectations. After you saw what happened to Shedeur, you don't have no expectations. And the rookies are finding out it's okay to stand up for yourself. There are 5 rookies with their contracts unsigned. One was the 17th pick overall out of A&M, Stewart. Seems like Shamar Stewart. They were asking him, he plays for the Bengals. They were asking him, how does he feel about what he's going through? He refuses to practice in the mandatory camp because he didn't sign a contract. Guess what the problem is? Apparently, the NFL done added a clause that says the ball club itself can take away your guaranteed contract anytime in the future. I was like, I need to read this rookie contract because we already talked about Caleb had a lawyer, he and his father, to try to circumvent it. They were willing to go elsewhere and somehow got lured in. What did I say? If you sign that contract, they got you. If you agree with everything it say and you don't read it, they got you. So you might as well just go ball out and just wait till your time is up. Sound like jail. Seduced by the money. That's not guaranteed. That you got to pay about 40% in taxes on. Another reason why they should be doing their own thing. He said something about, we got 20 more hours. I guess they got a deadline as to when they got to get it right. He said it's a shame to come all this way and this be your dream and it has to end because of this. Sound like he willing to walk away from whatever the 17th pick in the draft makes. So probably about 20 some odd thousand, $20 million if I had to guess. If number 1 is at 43, number 17 probably not far off. 20 mil. He said, yep, it'll be a shame. Like, hey, I'm good. That's the attitude you have to have. And here's my thing. Is this a new clause? Did they change something without telling people? And why can the ball club change your guarantee anytime? Is it based on conditions? Is it a blanket? I need to read this contract. I want to see what Caleb was fighting about. I want to see what 5 rookies are fighting about. Remember, at one point, Cam had not signed his contract. It was said that Travis hadn't signed his contract, but then it was said that he did. So I'm going to believe that he did. And he's so happy. But Travis got everything he wanted. To play ball in the NFL, the bag, $40 million, with probably about 30 of it guaranteed, which means he making about $11 or $12 million a year himself, or $10 million a year. Plus, he got the girl he wanted, regardless of what anybody think about it. The point is, he checked off the boxes, and he got what he wanted, and he got his degree, and he wasn't even a senior. So he was out there today doing his little thing. Let him cook, because he balling. In fact, Travis's coach said, if there was a game today, I think we could put him in it. See, here's the problem that the league is facing. They acted like some of these players are not pro ready. They want them to leave everything behind, but you don't leave what made you great behind. You just add on to it and you evolve. That's what Shedeur is doing. Sure, there are things they want him to learn different from what he did at Colorado, but does that mean he's not pro ready? Because based on what I saw from Shedeur today, if there's a game and he got an O-line, it's going down. So he's pro ready. But yes, there are things they want him to learn, just like any job. I'm going to come and get you because you're the best at what you do, and I'm going to pay you handsomely. But there's a few things we would like it done this way, and that's cool. But don't act like Shedeur is not pro ready. Don't act like Travis is not pro ready because you have something else you want him to add on to his skill set. And yeah, they're young, so they can continue to grow. So you're not stripping them naked at the door, bro, when it comes to their skills. So let's respect these young men and admit what you're trying to fight. They pro ready, quarterback or wide receiver. Cam is pro ready. Stop kicking him out of the facility because he want to start at 5. That's what he did in college. Why is it a problem? You got him competing with the dude that failed last year. He want to do what he did in college to get to this level. You drafted him first. Let him come in and work. Why would you prevent somebody from coming into the facility at 5 a.m.? Because y'all don't get there till 8? This is a practice facility. This is where they're supposed to work out at. So it's showing me the next generation is ready to get it. And they block it. See, they thought he was going to maybe act out or something when they said, you got to compete. He like, cool, because I'm going to do what I've been doing. But he can't even get the access he used to at his university. These guys better think long and hard before they come out the NFL. They better look at not only how Shedeur was treated, but they better look at the 5 rookies that's holding out, because there's a reason. And they better understand this. Caleb had an issue with his contract too. Cam didn't sign it right away. There is something. And the money not guaranteed. So I don't know what else it is you want if the money not guaranteed. If you're going to take a guarantee away at any time, at what point is this happening? This my signing bonus? The whole contract is not guaranteed. So you want to not give me a fully guaranteed contract, and you want to put in a clause that say what little you gave me, whether it's 35 or 15, you want to take that away. Is that in everybody's contract? Or is that in certain people's contract? Is that for the top 10 in 2 or the top 5 or what? I need to see this contract. I said it before when we was talking about Caleb. What the hell is in this contract? I said it when Cam didn't sign it. What the hell is in this contract? It sounded a little crazy. But to me, it's just another reminder why these guys need to start their own league. It's another reminder why guys coming out of college are the perfect ones to do it. It's another reminder that in the offseason, if there's nothing in their contracts that say they can't play in a celebrity game, they need to get together and play 11-on-11 flag football and let the best ball out live stream it with multiple sources live streaming it and watch what happens. They allow flag football, right, in the Olympics, so you should be good too. You don't have to play tackle. I'm sure you got a clause if you get hurt, so we're not tackling nobody. People like Justin Jefferson, I think he shares video of what looks like his little brother. He's a prime example of a person that needs to go ahead on and start another league so his brother doesn't get treated like Shedeur or anybody else. Because it's no guarantee that if you made it through, that he's not going to catch hell. Shedeur is media savvy. He sidestepped Mary Cabot, who asked him about Coach Prime. She asked him about Coach Prime. And he said, I don't know what's going on out here trying to be the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. In other words, they keeping that away from him so he could focus. And I like how he answered her. And at the end, somebody said, it's hard not to like that kid. So he know how to handle people who are difficult like her, who keep trying to put you and other people on the spot about you. He said, I'm just here trying to get this playbook together. Make sure I got it. If they wasn't holding him back, he would be QB1, and I think he would ball out. But it's not a secret that he's being held back. In fact, after I left y'all, after the huddle, I was on X because I got to keep up with all this social media. So I really invested to see what's going on. And of course, I saw all the video from today. But I also saw other people talking about Shedeur being held back. And that Cleveland's crazy, for lack of a better term right now. The calls are coming from within the house. The media, typically the right hand of the NFL, now have another person saying Cleveland is being ridiculous. Just let Shedeur ball out. We see he can ball out. The calls are coming and getting louder, and they're from within the house. And I told y'all it works like that because why? The media wants access to the players, and that's what the NFL affords them. So they're not going to disparage the NFL. But the call is coming from within the house. Without saying Cleveland is trash, they are saying, based on what we've seen from Shad Sanders, they should just let him ball out at QB1. That's where we are. That's where we are. So, I'm proud of Shedeur. It seems like he's a grateful heart, a genuine good person. Don't get rattled on the field. Don't get rattled off the field. Media trained, media savvy. Not focusing on anything other than being the quarterback, and the family is not keeping him updated daily because they want him to focus. I'm happy Mary Cabot moved on. I don't think she got to ask any more questions right after that. I thought I heard a different voice. And people in the comments was like, I'm glad he shut her down. Because he know how to do it. He don't get frustrated by her. He said, yes, I'm comfortable here in Cleveland. Because at first he wasn't. And then there's Shiloh. So thank you, Jerry, for sending me the articles, media team, on it about Shiloh. So we talked about Shiloh yesterday with people with articles that he had given out Apple Watches. And I said I didn't know how it went, right? But it was the entire Colorado Buffs team. He gave them all Apple Watches. So an article sent to me by media team member Jerry was basically filled with comments that was saying the first comment was he burning through that $400,000 signing bonus. I'm like, see, that tells you that this person is speaking from their perspective. They must have one source of income. Shiloh does not. So I went back and checked his channel. A month ago, he posted a video about Shiloh moving to Tampa. Over 500,000 views, and yes, it's monetized. I said Shiloh was putting up Bucky numbers. Shiloh putting up Shannon Sharp numbers. And y'all know somebody was bidding, a couple of companies were bidding for his content. I see the pregame show doing a damn good job of putting themselves in Shannon Sharp position for somebody to buy their content. Good job over there. The goal is always to get to the next level. I feel like the baby of the bunch. And I'm fine with that because I'm learning from everybody. And I'm sure people take cues from me. So nobody knows if Shiloh is spending his content creator money, because he very well could be. Or if he's spending his sign bonus, or maybe he already had money. Because why? When Shiloh was in college, he had endorsements. And let's not forget, he makes music. Just because you might not listen to it don't mean other people not listen to it. Because when these guys post their music, they on Apple, they on Spotify, they on this platform, they on that platform. Shiloh got a radio station on YouTube. His music been up there for years. And it got views. So we shouldn't assume he's spending his signing bonus. He might have not even touched that. Because he has other streams of income. He got YouTube money and he got Twitch money. He got endorsements. I think for the shoes he wear. Hell, we know he was in BMF, a TV show. It wasn't long, but the point is you got to get paid. The point is he has other sources of income. So I'm not counting his pockets. I thought that was very nice and generous of him. But then I remember Shiloh is him like that. Remember when he was working out at CU? What was Shiloh doing? Paying people $200 to race against him so he could get better. Y'all remember that? He generous when it comes to money, apparently. I heard so is Shedeur. None of them are what they call stingy. None of them. Even Osakin talks about it in his song. Oh, you can't date a girl. She couldn't pay her rent. I got you because they in a relationship. None of them are selfish with money like that. They're not wasteful either. But if they care about you or if it's something they want to do, they're going to do it. Shiloh showed he's a good guy. Shiloh's also in a tough race. I told y'all he was 4th on the depth chart. I said, don't be surprised. And today it said it. He's in a tough situation, 4th on the depth chart behind 2 other guys, and he could end up on the practice squad. So Shiloh is doing what I said the NFL does not prepare for, just in case he end up on the practice squad. He got his content, and I'm going to be honest with you, that's perfect. They make $12,000 a game. And he got 500,000 views on one video, 400,000 on the video that he went to the restaurant and did the taste test. It's already at 400,000. The newer ones sit at 100,000. And by 2 weeks from now or a month from now, guess where they're going to be at? $500,000 too. He has 189,000 subs on YouTube alone. I don't know what he got on Twitch. But you pay for subs on Twitch. I got 7, but I'm not at the point where people paying me for that. But I'm happy to have 7 followers. I got 7 followers. He probably got 20,000 subs. That's a big difference. That's a big difference. I just go in there and play spades. He actually streams for like 30 minutes to an hour or two at a time. So Shiloh is doing what you're supposed to do just in case. He's not thinking because my dad is Coach Prime, it's gonna get me here. Coach Prime said what when Shiloh was at CU, Shiloh gonna have to work his butt off. He went where people projected he would go, and we saw him get better. In fact, I heard him tell Coach Swayze, when I get my contract, I'm gonna take care of you. I believe it. The videos where he worked out, they got numbers. Anybody got 200,000 subs and that posts frequently like him and that is already a celebrity, he making money. So no need to count Shiloh's pockets. Just pay attention to the fact that he has a grateful heart. And he doing his thing. All right, so we're gonna see who in here. Hey everybody, Tina, how you doing? Hey Gracie, how y'all doing? There are 62 of us. Hit the like button for me, please. Hit the like button. Felisa, welcome back. Welcome back. I wanted to do Shedeur watch this channel. Probably not. I don't think Shedeur watching no social media. If he's sleeping with the lights on and he just got comfortable, probably not. But y'all can share it to him and maybe he'll take a peek at it and stop by and say hi. It said that Mary Karen stay on our list, yes. And people say calling her out. She got more people hating on her than she got people liking her content. That's what's crazy. I'm like, see, that's the kind of stuff that would make me check myself. That would make me check myself. Not one person for the most part, but everybody, and I barely got views. Got more comments than I got views. That's crazy. Peace to the family in the chat. Hey, Kiel, welcome back. Welcome back. One of my day ones. People are switching up and trying to act like the NFL taught him something. Right. You know what? That's it. I think I was using the term pretentious earlier, and I'm not sure if that's the right word in this context. But the NFL is acting like it is just this extremely difficult to get the hang of scheme or system where you got to strip yourself of all your skills and take your brain out your head and assimilate. No, it is not. Travis Hunter is showing that if there's a game today, I can ball. Shedeur, if there's a game today, I can ball. Cam, same thing. The CU Buffs came pro ready. Shiloh looks good. I hate that he number 4 on the depth chart, but I'm also not surprised. Cause if they gonna make Shedeur earn it, what did Shiloh say? If that's how they gonna treat you, I know what they gonna do me. So I'm glad he picked up the camera. And he getting Bucky numbers. So for the people that said, you better pick up a camera, you didn't go to the invite, how about he got a contract from the NFL for just under $3 million, plus social media, plus the endorsements he already had, plus his music. Shiloh ain't hurting for nothing. So yes, people are switching up, Felissa, and the voices are getting louder, and the call is coming from in the house. It said, welcome back to the last 4 videos are Hallmark. Hey, Salafi. It said, your podcasts are phenomenal. Keep up the excellent work. You have the same tenacity as Rosa Martin. Wow. Okay. You put your foot in the next. Now that's facts. And that ain't new for me. When I was in grad school, they was like, oh, there she go. Yep. Yep. I mean, if it's wrong, it's wrong, right? Just like this contract. I need to see this NFL contract. Because it's crazy. It's crazy. Caleb don't want to sign it. Now 5 rookies don't want to sign it. I'm like, the NFL got so many problems. You think they would just stop fighting Shedeur and stop trying to play keep away with Shedeur, Cam, Milroe, and probably Russ in the future and worry about what the hell is going on that people keep rejecting this contract. They got a lot of problems. They got an image problem for what they did to Shedeur, the league itself, and the owners collusion again. And I don't know if Shedeur signed something that says something about arbitration, but he ain't the one suing. It's a fan. That's a problem. That's one. And now they say it's another one. That's 2. And I'm gonna just remind y'all. After Cassie sued, how many? All right. So they got an image problem. They have the way they conduct business problem. They have a race problem. They're like an octopus trying to put out fires that they started. See, if you do the right thing, you don't have these problems. Now they got Russ in New York. Trust me on that one. Trust me, when you hurt one person and you turn around and the Lord is standing there for the most part, you're like, oh, okay, okay. Well, damn it, I was trying to get rid of him so he don't come, but now I got you. And Jerry sent me an article saying Jameis Winston might be on the market. What? So Russ ain't going nowhere. They gonna move Jameis out. I wonder why. I mean, they tend to like to stack the black QB, so I'm gonna have to look into that a little bit more. So supposedly, Jameis Winston had an $8 million contract for 2 years. The same contract the quarterback at Duke University has. $4 million each. I would not come out of school. I would be there until I have no eligibility and my master's. Like, I'm good. I'm good. Let me go and get my master's and then I'll come see about what y'all doing. And hope and pray in the meantime somebody starts something else. All they gotta do is play a flag football game, stream it, multiple people stream it, multiple platforms. Just click up a button, advertise it, get the basketball people and the football people online to talk about it. Anybody know what Rucker Park is? Right. Same thing. You can't be afraid to stand up for yourself. And I'm happy to see that these rookies have, if they have an issue with this contract, they stand it up for themselves to the point they're like, well, I sure hate to come all this way to lose it, but hey, what you want me to do? Because apparently they're not willing to sell themselves up the river for non-guaranteed money. And then when it's guaranteed, you can take it back at any given time. Oh, I'm going to need to see that language. That's crazy. Do you hear the media talking about that? I think it's something the Bengals added. How can the Bengals add something to their contracts? Aren't they a club, a franchise under Chick-fil-A? Okay, so Chick-fil-A has rules, right? If you're a franchise, you pay a fee and you got to follow the rules of the overall, right? The corporate, right? If you just want to go out here and start selling hot dogs at Chick-fil-A, do you think you could just start selling hot dogs out your Chick-fil-A? Do you think you could start selling barbecue out to Chick-fil-A? Honestly, drop it in the comments. Yes or no? Do you think you can start selling hot dogs and barbecue and Chinese food and Japanese food and hibachi, fried rice with the shrimp in it, out of your Chick-fil-A because that's what you want to do? No. And why would I let that happen? Because then if I let one franchisor do it, then somebody gonna be selling ice cream and donuts. And then what the hell my brand gonna be synonymous for? I have a brand. We sell chicken. It's called Chick-fil-A, not barbecue filet, not ice cream and donuts filet. There are rules to this. And how you gonna let one franchise put a rule in somebody's contract? That sounds like another contract or a writer on but it should be for everybody. So now nobody wants to go to the Bengals. So now they're gonna weaponize the Bengals as a team nobody want to go to. Put him over there because he can't choose his guaranteed money or not. That don't make sense. That makes absolutely no sense. How one club gonna say I can take your money back when I want to? That's not how you conduct business. And I don't care if somebody let it ride. That's not how they go. And they can't choose to go to another team. So why would you let only one club do something like this? I told you they on fire. They got so much damn going on, they don't even know what the hell they doing. Cause that's nuts. Just that's like weaponizing the rounds in the draft. When they came up with the idea to make the salary based on the round, that gave them license to do what? Well, not license. That gave them the opportunity to cheat people, devalue them, pay them less money, and then come out here and win the Super Bowl for them. Jalen Hurts. He eventually got his 250 million, but Josh Allen just got 330. How long it's gonna be? And has Josh Allen won a Super Bowl? I don't think so. So Jalen did what they want you supposedly to come here and do. Let's see how long before he get 330 million. It's gonna be 400 by then, but Pat Mahomes already got that. That's why y'all see Kansas City more than anybody. Let's be honest. They got him with a 400 some odd million dollar contract. That's damn near twice 1.5 times what Hurts is making, and he just won the Super Bowl. And Philadelphia not even at the top of the list for the games. Dallas, who they paying? That's why they got the second most games, even though they not good. It'll be interesting to see how fans respond. If Dallas is still gonna have its same luster, if the NFL is still gonna have its same luster, yeah, they're gonna be people that support. But y'all don't know, there's a lot of people that's not with what they saw in the draft. A lot of people not with that. You don't believe me? Look at what's going on in 50 cities across the U.S. I think it's something the Bengals did. Yeah, it could be K Hayes. Unity say, hey everybody, he doesn't need to play QB1 for less than $2 million a year. You talking about K Hayes? I mean, you talking about Shedeur? He say he got time. I don't know who talked to him. I feel like hopefully he and Russ talk because I feel like Shedeur is the next Russ, in my opinion. Meaning the guy that they keep trying to hold back, but he keeps rising and he keeps rising. And it's not bothering him, just like it's not bothering Russ. See, that's the kind of guys that's coming into the league now. Because they see what it is. And if they elect to come for the bag and they sign that contract, they're like, all right, it is what it is. And now you got fans doing it, so players don't even need to do it. It's all going to work for good in his favor. Yep. Jerry Benson said double standards. Yeah, it's a double standard. And you know what's crazy? We talked about this earlier, and I thought about this. Okay, so they say Shedeur can't pick his jersey number because he a fifth round draft pick, right? That was the first thing. Then they said he clearly can't be QB1 or QB2 or QB3, and he's a fourth-string QB because he was drafted in the fifth round, right? So it's because of the round he was picked in. That's why he can't ascend because he was drafted late. But then over here in Tennessee, they just put together words that have been documented, and I shared them yesterday. That Cam Ward, who went number 1 overall, QB1, they don't know if he's going to be QB1 because, we're going to have to see. You see? That's what you call moving the goalposts. Well, if Shedeur can't get it because he drafted too late, why the hell can't Cam start? That's what you've been doing. If you go in the first round, you're QB1, you start. But now he got to compete with the guy that failed last year. So you see how they weaponizing? They making a situation fit for their preference and what they want to do. Shedeur Sanders is what they say a retro style QB, so they don't want him. They devalue him. He costs too much for the first round. That's what Andrew Berry was alluding to. That's what he was essentially saying, actually. But then they got Jackson Dart at the number 2 instead of Shedeur. At this point, they just saying anything. That's why I keep saying to y'all, they making irrational decisions. They are making irrational decisions. You cannot publicly tell people that Shedeur can't pick his jersey number because he was drafted in the 5th round, and then say he can't ascend to QB1 or QB2, even though he's the best, because he was drafted in the 5th round, as if the 5th round label is really what this is about and not his skill set. But then the number 1 QB overall, Cam Ward, balls out, shows up at 5 a.m., you kick him out, and you say, yeah, we drafted him first. We paid him $35 million guaranteed. But, yeah, we don't know if he's going to be QB1. Well, what the hell is the standard? Where's the process? Where the rules at? It's just all just willy-nilly out here. How is it Cam can pick his number, but he can't be QB1, and he go first overall? And Shedeur can't pick his number, and he can't be QB1, but he's 144 late. They just change the rules to fit whatever they want to do. This is not how you conduct business. Where's the stability here? So now you holding Cam back. But you said Shedeur couldn't go in the first round, which is why they locked him out. But hell, now you didn't even need to lock him out because Cam got in and now you don't want him to start. He got to compete against the guy from last year that underperformed. So what was the point of locking out Shedeur? So now Cam can't start. They changed the rules this year. Because did Caleb Williams not start last year? Yes. And how many times he got sacked? 68. It's just a big mess. It's just a big mess between them trying to get their ducks in a row. If you go late, you can't start. But if you go first, you can't start either. That just tells you they don't want these guys to start. That's all it's telling you. They doing any and everything so these guys cannot start. And for the people who told me Cam Ward was drafted first, so you can't say it's racist. Well, I can now. I said it then. Just because you got one black friend don't mean you not racist. Nobody's using that uh whatever the hell it is in 2025. And now they holding him back too. Why? Because they took him first so y'all could say they not racist. And now that he in the draft. So see, check this out. They got Milroe in college. They got Shedeur pre-draft. And now they got Cam in the career. I said that. Who was on this podcast when I said they're going to get you one way or the other? They're going to get you coming out of college. They're going to get you pre-draft. Or they're going to get you in your career. It has already happened. And we not anywhere near August. They moving fast. Containment. That's what it's called. Crazy. In the voice of Coach Prime, Shedeur rock steady. Yeah, Shedeur's they not finna get to him. I don't think they're gonna get to Cam either. See, I'm not pitting Shedeur against Cam because I don't think Shedeur got anything to prove against Cam. I think just like we see Shedeur balling out in Cleveland, and we're not surprised. We're happy to see it, but we know that. That's what we expected. He's pro ready. That's what they don't want to say. Shedeur came into the league pro ready out of CU. Cam came into the league pro ready out of Miami. Milroe came into the league pro ready out of Alabama. They don't want to say that. Because if I say Cam pro ready, then I got to let him start because obviously the guy from last year failed. If I say Shedeur is pro ready right now, I got to prove why it is I pushed him down in the draft and took his entitled self off the board. Even though he was talented, which means I made a decision that had nothing to do with talent, the way you conduct business. And if I say Milroe pro ready, then how do I explain not even talking about him in the draft? That's where we at. And the calls are getting louder and they're coming from within the house. And right now, the calls about Shedeur. Wait till they add on Cam and wait till they see Milroe. That's why they're trying to put him third on the depth chart, even though I saw with my own two eyes, he's number 2. And I got a copy of it. So they probably gonna change it. Because they realize, yeah, that ain't far back enough. So I like Shedeur's perspective. He don't have no expectations of them. He has expectations of himself. Come in here, ball out, get better. It's an audition every day. That's exactly how I would look at it. I'm doing my best for me, God, and the people that's going to get me next. Like he said, he's not trying to prove nothing to nobody, but to himself that he can master that playbook because that's what Shedeur going to do. Instead of being 83%, his accuracy going to go up to 90-something, and it was 74 at CU. Look out. Cam's still going to find a way. If he can't get in there at 5 in the morning, he going to find a local facility that's going to open their doors for him. They're all 24-hour workout facilities. He going to find a private gym that heard what's going on, and they're going to let him come in there. And that's what he needs. That's exactly what he needs. And show him, you're not stopping nothing. Just like these guys that have not signed their rookie contracts. Oh, it will be a shame to get here and it just don't work out. That's the attitude you have to have. I got time. I'm working out. I'm being the best teammate and the most polished QB I could be. Right attitude. They're like, damn, they're not getting frazzled. No, they're not. Milroe, what did he say when he got drafted? BTA, incoming, and he not lying. I said it, don't have no expectations. They don't. Don't want nothing. He even said, Shedeur even said it. They asked him about the future. He said, I can't even see that far. I'm just worried about right now. There you go. That's what I like to hear. Because they can't get you when all you worried about is right now. Being the best you could be. So 31 other teams can see. Because that moratorium just might get lifted. But I got to blame somebody first. Right now, it's looking like Cleveland. So they thinking about moving Jameis Winston and not Russ because they not stupid. Move Russ right now and see what happens. What is it they don't want to be called? Right. They just went through that in 2021. Round 2, the price go up. Angela C, how you doing? You up next, Queen. Thank you. Thank you. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. There are 94 of us. All right. So we starting to get to 100 consistently. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Y'all do a good job of hitting the like button because essentially when I look at the video the next day, I see all your likes. So thank you. That's these people's problem. They always worried about their personal lives instead of just football. It's none of their business what they do with their own money. Right. And you know what? I think that's why they're mad with Travis. I saw Travis, Well Off Media posted Travis, but I saw it earlier. And then Well Off posted it. Travis being Travis. What was the first thing they said when they saw Travis being happy? Ignoring the fact that he just got married, which means he got the girl he wanted. Don't matter what nobody thinks. He got the girl he wanted. He got the bag. $40 million, 30 some odd guaranteed. He got his degree and he in the NFL. So yeah, I'm dancing too. Hell, what the hell? They don't want to see these guys happy with their money. That's why they're happy when they go broke. They talk about the ones that go broke. Tell me about the ones that retain their wealth. They don't never talk about that. They like when they see them pulling up in the Ferraris because they laugh at, oh, they gonna go broke. Remember, you saw the green rooms. It's a lot of people don't make the kind of money that Shedeur is making. Even if they think it is an uncooked Pop-Tart, he make more than you. And that's why they're jealous. This is jealousy from certain people in the media who choose to slither around and hate. But the call is coming from within the house and it's getting louder. And I expect tomorrow there'll be another person in addition to Green Shirt, Chase, and this other dude. Don't even know who he is. It's going to be somebody else. Because see, now people want to see Shedeur with the first team. He said, I'm good. I saw Flacco, who didn't throw today. I saw Flacco giving Shedeur some advice. So these two have chemistry. See, that's the 1 and the 2 right there. Dylan at 38%. It makes Cleveland look like imbeciles. I'm just being honest. You split up Travis and Shedeur, and you could have had both of them. You traded Travis away. You got Shedeur late, which means you could have had both of them. And then look how you treat Shedeur when you call him. Look how you treat Shedeur when you had your first press conference. Oh, he got to come in and earn it. We're not giving him nothing. You keeping up the entitled, which means you sticking to the script. So somebody posted on X today, because I must have said something, and they were like, yeah, I guess I see now. Oh, Dan Orlovsky is now on Shedeur Should Start. They were like, the reason why I don't respond to these people is because they hated on Shedeur. I'm like, exactly. And they were like, call me petty, but I don't think that's right. I said, that's not petty. I said, what you are seeing is them flip the script. I would say you need to ask why, but you just wait 5 minutes, you're going to find out. I'm just happy Shedeur don't have no expectations from them. That's why he said, thank you for an opportunity. If this don't work out, cool. It's already rookie saying, if it don't work out, it'd be a shame, but all right. That's the attitude. If you any other way, they will use you, chew you up, and spit you out after they try to publicly buck break you and control your every life till they zap the life out of it. So your mental is shook. Now y'all see why some of these guys go ballistic. I feel like they've been institutionalized, like they've been in jail. The longer they in this league. So our guy's good. Cam's going to be good. I know Milroe going to be good. Oh, I cannot wait. See, now this is my fun for watching these games. See, I'm not watching to see who wins. I'm watching to see who get ready to shine. And then what you going to say. Because I know it was getting ready to happen. What I tell y'all about black NFL quarterbacks? Every last one of them. All the way back to Gilliam. They the best. They not chosen for their preference, so come on in. Nope, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta jump this hurdle, you gotta jump this hurdle, you gotta climb this ladder, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta be perfect. So down. Black excellence. That's what you end up with. That's why the very small number of black quarterbacks that don't even make up the majority have risen to become the majority. With Shedeur at 17 and Milroe at 18. That's why I watch the games. To see the people rise right before their eyes that they trying to hold back. The same reason why I watch OTAs. You think I don't know Shedeur's pro rating? I've watched the Baylor game so many times. That's that little 2-minute snippet. Oh, I wish we could watch it here. But we did watch it on Twitch. Because that's why I'm on Twitch. So there you go. Yeah, they worried about their personal life. Shedeur will get his time because they see Dylan Gabriel is not ready, nor Pickett. So Cleveland is not stupid. They get his Shedeur ready. We gonna see. 22, that's a very optimistic view, and you got more faith in them than I do. And the reason why I say that is because they still sticking to the script. The only people flipping the damn script are the media. That's who flipping the script. I don't see Cleveland flipping anything, but I do see Joe Flacco warming up to Shedeur. I do see that, and I do like that. And Shedeur did come out and say, I'm more comfortable. So something has changed. But Mary Catherine is, in my opinion, the pulse of the organization. And as long as she keep on with the foolishness, then I know where she getting her marching orders from. Because nobody would allow her to run loose like that. They would be like, look here, let me talk to you. Don't be out here antagonizing the damn talent, okay? We need them to be ready. So I'm going to go ahead on and send somebody else out here since you don't know how to act. That's exactly what they would do. It just might sound a little nicer. Or she just might get an email, we don't need you to come back and report. We got Ashley to do it. They do have an Ashley. I saw that. I said, oh, there's somebody else. There's another woman there. So we're going to see. I'm open-minded, but I do have a healthy sense of skepticism. And y'all see, it proves me right all the time. Because I know the challenge that they face. Remember what they did to him. If you don't remember, just go back and watch the draft, and this is going to come right back to you, and it's going to traumatize you. See, it's not easy to walk away from that, because why did I do it? That is the question we already answered, and we are in the end zone. Touchdown, waiting on the rest of the people who's out there, who talks about these things, to talk about it. Terrell Pryor, we did him 2 weeks ago, came up. We talked about him 2 weeks ago. NFL posted about it. I heard the collusion word from some other people, some other podcasters. That's good. I like it. Now I'm waiting on why was he pushed down in the draft. Now watch they carefully sidestep that issue and go straight to, well, we just want to know how long it's going to be for that he start, because that's what's happening right now. They done went from he can start to how long is it going to be before he starts. So Flacco can do 7 games, Shedeur can do 11. So I think they're going to sidestep that issue. And that tells you where they get their marching orders from. That tells you who they in cahoots with. That tells you that they the right hand of the NFL, because the NFL got something they want. Access to the players in the locker rooms that the players don't even like. I'm only watching 12. Yeah. Well, I follow quarterbacks. Like today, I reposted Bryce J. What's his name? Underwood. That's his name. Bryce J. Underwood. I said, come on, let's go. Him, I got him. Keelan, of course, I got to see you QB, but I always watch a few other college QBs. I don't know who Syracuse QB is going to be. They got somebody new too. He wears the number 2. I don't know if he a freshman or what, but I'm going to find out. Hell, I like Haynes King right up the street at Georgia Tech. He's good. So I do. I talk about the other quarterbacks. I talk about CU. Is the only program I focus on where all the players fall under the scope. But when it comes to quarterbacks, I talk about a lot of quarterbacks. Chris Carter is institutionalized. Now, I didn't hear what he said. I know he said something. And people say they thought Coach Prime was upset by it. If somebody want to tell me in the comments what he said, if you could summarize it, then we could talk about it. But I didn't see it. I just heard that people were not happy with him. And you know what I thought? Even though I didn't hear what he said, but I heard people's reaction. That's exactly what I said. I didn't use the word institutionalized. I was like, oh, they got to him too. It must be something in the water. There's an echo in your mic. Oh, okay. Thank you, Tina. Is that Will Shepherd new reel? Will Shepherd got a new reel? Is that what you're saying? 76? I haven't seen it. You have an echo. Okay. Let me see something.
Let me know if I still have an echo. Yes, per life in football, Will Shepherd is working, trying out with the Broncos. Yay! Okay. I like it. So he's back. I don't know what happened. Whatever it is, maybe it was something that could be resolved with, medicine or something or therapy, and it worked. Let me know if I still have an echo. Let me know. Thank you, K Hayes. It said, so thank you. Better. Okay, thank you. So it says, how did you hear that? So Unity wants to know, Val C, how did you hear about, she said life in football said it. That's why. And that's Colin. And Colin is like an insider, in my opinion. So he know what he's talking about. If Colin said it, it's facts. You can believe that. I don't know if y'all remember, but was it last year? Coach Prime shot out Colin at a press conference. I don't know if y'all recall that, but I recalled it. So that's good. That's good. Thank y'all so much. So that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That means all of our guys, the receivers, all four of them will end up in the league. It don't matter if they were all drafted. That don't even matter. The point is, no other school, not Georgia, not Alabama, not Oregon, not any other school that people like to talk about, got all 40 receivers in. Colorado got the most receivers. Colorado got the most receivers. Thank you for letting me know. No echo. Okay, cool. Will Shep, a great receiver. Yeah, he's good. I think he's good. So Denver, huh? Okay. And I don't know if y'all remember, but Denver was well represented. I mean, they're right up the road. Denver was well represented at CU's Pro Day. And I remember seeing Sean Payton have a conversation with Coach Pryor. And remember, anybody remember Shedeur, maybe Shiloh, and Coach Prime, and maybe Bucky were at a Denver Broncos game in a suite, and people were starting to speculate. I wonder if Shedeur could go to the Broncos. Now they passed on it too, but their excuse is they got who. But it's cool. And see, that's what Coach Prime gonna have to do. He gonna have to move past it because he still got players for the next 5 years that likely going to the league unless somebody gonna start a new one, or they gonna get equity in an existing one and go that route. Yes, I saw when CP. Oh yeah, CP shout out Colin. Yeah, it was after the TCU game when he said he believed. Oh, that's funny. That's funny, Gretchen. But yeah, so Colin, in my opinion, is an insider. So if he got the info about Will Shepherd, is right. Everybody serves a different purpose. I don't know if y'all noticed that. You got the pregame show, they inside, but what do? They get I think, what is it? Uncle Neely call it the all access pass. So like I watch that because I think it's good. He goes to see you. I think he was interviewing the chef. Man, they was showing what they eat. I'm like, see, I think I could leave CU and go to another school. Because the way they eat, they had these shrimp, and I love shrimp. I'm from New Orleans, love shrimp, right? They had these shrimp. They had what looked like mashed potatoes with whole pieces of bacon in it. I was like, I'm hungry. They were talking about everything they eat. I was like, man, the way they eat at CU, I ain't going nowhere. Right here. I'm gonna get my master's, and if y'all got a law school, I'm getting that too. Because that spread that Chef Solomon be cooking, and I think that's the friend of Bucky's from SMU. That's how that connection came, I think, from what I can recall people saying. He be doing his thing, right? That menu they eat with. But when I saw them tomahawk steak, I was like, oh, that's crazy. And I didn't eat like that in college. I had them damn soy hamburgers. That's what I recall when we go to eat. But this is the football team. There's nothing that can make me leave CU. They eat good. I seen their Jimmy Horn place was nice. I just saw what's his name? Number 77, JC. Saw his place. I haven't seen what's the younger one name? Juju. I haven't seen his place. I haven't seen Caleb. I saw Miles' place. They got nice places. They eat nice food. Most of them got cars. Y'all didn't have a car. I was like, hell, Shiloh might as well just let him borrow one of his or somebody. Cause they did y'all know Shiloh brought y'all to practice every day? Shiloh was his ride. Yep. I like somebody ought to give him an endorsement at the Ford dealership or something. Um, but a lot of these schools, that's what the guys seem to all have cars. And CU, I guess they like, and I'm surprised that no dealership made the same type of deal that Utah made. Remember when we played Utah right before we found out that, and I called it the prime effect. Remember that coach rode in on a motorcycle after ESPN AMP was at CU at the same time. The Rock was there, and then when we played Utah, that must have been year one. After they coach rode in on a motorcycle, they had ESPN up there, and then all of their players, the starters, got Dodge Chargers or a truck or something. And come to find out, you had to be a starter, a scholarship player, and they leased you a car for like I guess a year or the term or the semester or something like that. So I remember that. But see, you don't see that kind of stuff at CU, but I hate to say it. Everything else is A1. So, maybe keep your NIL money and get your own car, or hell, just ride with somebody else. Ride with somebody else. So, it seems like Chidozie is still the only one that didn't make it somewhere. And that is very, very, very surprising. So, prayers up to him. Hopefully, he gets an opportunity. I am happy for Will Shepherd. So, let's talk about CU. What are we? 56 minutes in. I still want to bring this up. Let's talk about CU and the rankings that are out. We got overlooked at the quarterback position. When you look at the quarterback rankings, we are nowhere to be found. When you look at the top 25, we are nowhere to be found. They say we dropped to number 48. Only one school they expect to come out of the Big 12 to the playoffs. 1.5 schools. I don't know how you get half. They only and guess who's ranked? Kansas. Yeah. Kansas State, the one that's purple. Kansas State. That's the only school that's ranked in the top 25, and I think they might be 25. So we got overlooked again. Now, is it that Iowa State? How is it that Iowa State didn't they go to no, that's the Arizona State school went to the semifinals for the Natty. I feel like it was Arizona State, I think. And then Iowa State, they won the Big 12, right? How is it neither one of them are ranked? Is it because Scatterbull left? So once again, who's being snubbed? Is it Colorado or is it the Big 12 that's being snubbed? The Big 12 only had 34 players invited to the combine. 34, that's low. And then now, only 1.5 school is expected to come out of the Big 12 to go to the 12-team playoff. Only Kansas State is ranked. So who is up? CU? We number 48. So if y'all saying Shedeur wasn't that good, then why the hell did we drop so far? We were actually ranked when the season ended. In fact, we were like number 23, 24, or 25. So I don't know who gets them. See, normally we say it's CU, but now after the combine, and I was like, what the hell is it? Only the Big 12 only has 34 invites. And remember, BYU only had like one or two. I was like, surely they got more than two people. So who being snubbed? Y'all let me know. What? It could be this light. It could be this light. It's not, I don't have a camera, man. It's on a tripod. I think what happens is this light, when it changes, it somehow messes up the focus. See? I don't know if it's gonna stay still though, because sometimes it gets too bright. It's like a smart light, and it has like a lot of settings. There you go. So we'll just leave it like that. That's probably what it is. Um, so thank you for that. Who is that? Isaiah. Thank you. It says, wipe your feet and have a seat and hit the like button for my sis. Thank you, Isaiah. It says you echoing again. It says, that's right, speaking facts. I told you he would be good in Cleveland. Yep. Oh, Damon, welcome back. We have not seen you in a minute. Welcome back. When you in your feelings, let us know. A couple people got in their feelings because we were talking about New York. Some people got in their feelings. Damon is either Cincinnati, so he or Cleveland. It says so. I don't remember if he's Cleveland or Cincinnati, but he said he back, and yes, he did. You're not echoing. You're good. Thank you, Isaiah. Crowley says CU makes all the other college food programs look real poor. Yes. CU eats high on the hog. I love our chef. Yes. Yes, I was like, this crazy. Mashed potatoes with whole pieces of bacon. I mean, of course, it's fried bacon or whatever they call it. Bacon. It could be turkey. Hell, I don't know, but it looked good. And the shrimp, it's like a buffet. You just go through and get whatever. I don't even know what else I saw. I was so mesmerized by the damn shrimp. Oh my God. These, hey, girl, and we're not talking no little bitty shrimp here. We're not talking about something that come out of a pack or something you could hold in the palm of your hand. Hey, no. They not prawns, but they are shrimp and they are cooked. So they were obviously larger before they were cooked. And they look good. I'm late. That's okay. Welcome back, Juanita. Welcome back. Probably some angry hate unity. It says the devils are working hard. Yes, they are, but it's okay. Cause like Shedeur, we not phased. We just gonna keep it pushing. That's just how I go. I couldn't even tell you why there's an echo all of a sudden. I done switched audio sources many times. The other day, I was talking to somebody. I said, I think I tried to go live 8 times on YouTube, and that's what made me go. I'm gonna have to leave that behind. So over here, I even checked the audio settings before it, and it said it was what I have on, and it seemed to be pretty good. But you just don't know about these things. And they say when you get close to your goal, this is what happens. People try to throw you off your path. So I always applaud Shedeur for not quitting or going, not chasing his dream. God opened the door. He clearly saw that. He was grateful about it. Didn't complain or have any issues, and he walked through it. And that's what you're supposed to do. Because there would be people that would be like, I'm not going there because they look how they doing me, right? But he was like, it's open, so I'm gonna go. And as long as the door is open, I think he's supposed to be there. And as you can see, look at the outcome of going the route that you didn't expect, the route that seemed like is crooked, right? And now that's all people are talking about in the league is Shedeur and then Travis. Anybody else y'all can think of that's really being talked about? Shedeur Daily and Travis Daily. That's it. That's still the dynamic duo, which means when they split them up, they didn't stop nothing. We just talking about them on two different teams. So they might end up back together one day, on the same team. I don't know. I'm still hoping for somebody to start a league. I think there needs to be a black owned, black led league. Absolutely. Shrimp, crab legs, and it all looked good. They had crab legs now? What? Yes, it did. It all looked really, really good. I didn't know they had crab legs. I was mesmerized by the shrimp and the mashed potatoes with the bacon because I was like, I have never seen that before. Yeah, I've seen bacon pieces, but we took a whole strips of bacon. I'm like, I bet that's good. So I guess I got mistaken. That's what I would say. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are absolutely correct. The coaches pretty much know who their three QBs are going to be. Shedeur not getting first team reps is for who is getting traded between Pickett and Dillon. And people say it's Pickett, but now people see it's also should be Dillon. I don't think they're gonna trade Dillon. I think that requires them to stop all the foolishness and admit that they were wrong. I think next year I could see it. I could see it next year because then they far removed from the conversation. But right now, I don't think they're gonna. They pride is they're not gonna do that. I think they're gonna hold Shedeur back. They might take the advice of like the media that said Flacco should play 7 games and then Shedeur close out, but that's 11 games, and that's how Shedeur gets to be QB1. In other words, he's not starting as QB1, but he will inherit it because 7 games doesn't make you QB1. I'm glad Shedeur is focused and not allowing the negative media talk alter who he is. Fact, somebody said one of the interview questions he was asked, I don't know if it has something to do with like what have you learned or what's your toughest test or something since you've been here. And he said, well, what have you learned since you've been here or something? He said something about his spirituality. So, you know, this journey elevated his spirituality or had him to focus on his spirituality because he had to lean on it. And I know he did. Yes, coaches play head games. They already know. Now Shedeur's showing out like he did today, just icing on the cake. Jimmy Haslam likes Shedeur. He's good. Unity, I know you have said that before, but that ain't true. I don't know why you think Jimmy Haslam likes Shedeur when he was the one that dropped him like a hot potato. What makes you think that? Please tell me why you think Haslam likes Shedeur. Remember, he passed on him how many times? In fact, Haslam was the one that came out and said on March 31st, on or before, we took a big swing and miss with Deshaun Watson, and we need to unbury ourselves from that first. This was after Shedeur was supposed to be going there. And he's their franchise QB after Andrew Berry said, I have any problems with Coach Prime. I think it's going to be great. And y'all think Haslam like Shedeur. Media is trying to impose a prime tax on the conference to get other players to spite their faces. I don't think it's just a prime tax. I don't know why it's just a prime tax because it's only one school. Schools are in the Big 12. Is it 13 or 16? And only one of 16 or one of 13 teams is making it out. That ain't no prime tax. It's something about the Big 12 they don't like. I said that last year. I said the guy that's over the Big 12, he came from Jay-Z's, what's it, Rockefeller, Live Nation, or something like that. He came from that direction. And I think he did good things with the media contracts. I feel like we got TNT this year, and we might have lost somebody from last year. I think we still have Fox, still got ESPN. I think we got TNT. That's new because I don't think we had them last year. I think we lost CBS, but I could be wrong. But I think the media partners changed, or either it was adjusted, or we got a new one added on to what we already have. I said, in my opinion, that the Big 12 got doing the combine, and one of the reasons I said, well, maybe they look at it like the Big 12 got their own combine down there where at the Star in Dallas. So I was like, well, maybe that's why they like, well, we don't need to invite everybody from the Big 12 because they got their own combine, and we do. Well, the Big 12 does, right? So I don't think it's a prime tax because what's happening with the rankings, it's not just CU. They just chose Kansas State. And if I'm not mistaken, Kansas State ended up last year. Number 4. And remember Kobe Bryant that went there? No, he went to Kansas. He was a walk-on in Atlanta. Remember Kansas, the one that was chirping with Travis? They didn't even draft him. People were shocked. CU is one of the few schools that manages their own meal program. Oh, a lot of the others are managed by a hospitality management company who doesn't charge enough to offer the meals. We see at CU. You brace it for that insight. Okay, that makes sense. So you mean a company like Aramark or somebody like that. That's typically what you see at the schools. And CU has their own meal program. Well, that's one of the best things that they did because that's some good looking food. And then we got Swayze. Those guys look great. Those guys, Shiloh looks great. So it proves that we needed the upgrade, even though people were attached, to Coach Mo. And Coach Mo was at Travis's wedding, so he liked him too. But it shows you can still be friends with people, but you got to do for you what needs to be done. And it shows that Coach Prime is willing to make the tough decisions to get to the next level. Haslam told them to draft Shedeur. It was the GM who looked over Shedeur, not Jimmy. You don't believe that unity, do you? But okay. Mm-mm. Hey, Navalia, how you doing? Hi, that's the HIPAA law. What's the HIPAA law? Let me know what you are referencing, Navalia. Crawley said, Gracie, this is good info about CU program, right? Because I didn't know that. I'm like, that's some good food for college. But yeah, Aramark and companies like Sedesco, Aramark, Sedesco's out of Canada. So yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. Okay. They do also do prisons. So maybe that's why CU wanted their own program. So yeah, thank you. It said, don't cost you nothing to hit the like button. Yes, thank Isaiah for holding it down. It says, I was shocked too about Kobe Bryant. He was a good corner at KU. Right. And they didn't draft him. That was crazy. I was like, oh, I was looking for him. It was a couple of people I was looking for. RJ Harvey. I think he's in Denver or Seattle. Remember the running back? Remember the running back from UCF? That guy, I think he either is in Denver or Seattle. And I was thinking if he's in Seattle, he's up there with Milrow. And if he's in Denver, he's over there with Will Shepherd. I think Will's gonna be good because if he's back to the point where he can try out, then he's good. I think it's that he didn't make the team because he's not good. I think something popped up on his physical, but I hope and prayed it was something that could be managed. And clearly it was. It was. So there you go. And it would have been Will Shepherd and Shiloh on the same team. I think that would have been those two. But Denver's good. Denver's good. Yes, I do believe it. This is Unity saying why he believes Haslam drafted Shedeur. They broke the code because Shedeur wasn't even on the draft board. And you don't think it has anything to do with number 47, Donald Trump calling them stupid and saying, say hi to your wonderful father. I want you to know, Unity, right after the draft, number 47 also announced the 2027 draft in Washington, D.C. They need protection. That's why Shedeur got drafted. Because 47 unexpectedly showed up and did something they were not expecting. Because remember what happened at the Super Bowl? He was there and they took in racism out of the end zone and they said it was because of him. So he pulled the straight up okey doke on him. Take that out the end zone. He was there, he left before Kendrick performed, and they had already removed in racism. So the last thing that they were expecting, see, I said they was riding high. They was letting their flag fly after that. That's exactly what I said. I said, oh, they bold now. Since the whole Super Bowl, taking in racism out. I sure did. And then what happened? He flipped the script on. Y'all stupid. You can't do that. He has phenomenal genes. He even told us where Coach Prime went to school. He was good here, that, and the other. He was good in college. He was good in the pros. Shedeur has phenomenal genes. And tell you what, say hello to your wonderful father. I know everybody was like, what the hell just happened? Remember, Bucky posted it saying, this crazy. Because it was. It was like a Jedi mind trick. Like, this ain't what, is this really happening? And it happened, and it worked. And they decided that Cleveland is where he was gonna go. Could be because they already had an overcrowded room. Could be because why? They were the ones that were gonna take him anyway. So you know what they did? They covered their CYA. Since y'all was gonna take him anyway, just go ahead and take this in case this turns into a thing. Then you just get to say what Andrew Barry said. Well, he was overpriced for the first round. So, yeah, retro, what do you say? He have a retro classic skill QB. So basically, the lie that they came up with real fast, Because that's why he went to Cleveland. Because they was already going to draft him at number 2. They just saying because he's a pocket passer, we thought he was valued too high in the first round for retro skilled QBs. And it made Andrew Berry look stupid because why? He took 2 QBs back to back, 3rd and the 5th round. And then what happened? He had to trade up in the 5th round with 2 assets in the same round. That's crazy. You just burning assets. And then what happens? Oh, it already happened. Andrew Berry said that. And I know he was lying on the fly because why? He must have forgot Tyler Shaw and Dart are both pocket passers, retro style QBs that went in the first round. Well, at least Dart did. And they traded up to get a retro style QB. So Andrew made himself look retarded. And that might have been the plan all along. I didn't care what he looked like. Sometimes people are useful. And they don't care what happens to useful people. So Jimmy Haslam doesn't deserve any credit. He oversees his own staff. Thank you, Jared. And the crazy part is, somebody asked Andrew Berry about the decision to make Shedeur at Jimmy Haslam. He said, Jimmy lets us do our job. I said, oh, he lying again. He lied again. And it's true. He let Andrew Berry go out there and act like he was going to get Shedeur. And the owners had already decided, all right, when you get to a certain point, when are you going to say that y'all not getting him? And that's what happened. He don't care about him at all. He set him up. He set up Andrew Berry too, but he seemed to like him. Jerry benefits. Leonardo. Okay, so everybody's explaining why Haslam ain't the guy, right? Not can be robbed of something if they never had it. Shedeur already had $6 million in his account because of NIL. Now that's facts. And they say he made about $20 million before the draft. And right after the draft, he had 3 endorsements drop ads. Delta Airlines, which was new, Ralph Lauren, which was new, and I think Gatorade again. Yep. So that meant they renewed and kept it pushing. Now, I want y'all to understand the implications of what the NFL did to Shedeur with all of these endorsements. It ain't going to hurt Shedeur. There were people from Nike, Gatorade, Delta, and Ralph Lauren, and whoever else, Beats, this, that, and the other, calling up the people that they have connections with, sending text messages. What the hell are y'all doing? You messing with my money now. Yup. Now, meanwhile, Coach Prime is in the middle of filming a Netflix documentary, so they getting all of this. So everything is gonna be in that 2026 documentary. Coach Prime out of his gazebo, what happened, the truth about how he felt from the time Shedeur was drafted till we saw him on Asante Samuel's podcast. Yeah, all of that is getting captured. They will cameras galore in that house filming, and nobody flinched because they used to that. So the NFL strains some of its relationships. Uh, Unity said they planned the entire situation. Barry didn't want Shedeur, but Jimmy made them draft him. Nope, you need to go see the pre-draft footage. Unity, you got to go see the pre-draft footage. Coach Prime is impacting college football, right? NIL transfer portal and the NFL. That's the problem. I agree. I think that that's a bonus. I think what they showed people was his allyship with the NFL is not what it is. So go to school where you want to go to school. I do think that's the message that was sent, but that was not the message. That was not the whole intent. They have not been planning to take down Coach Prime since the Vegas Super Bowl, but they have been planning to take down whoever it was going to be that was black in the first round, which is why Shedeur got locked out. And that's exactly why you see Cam competing, even though he's first overall. Why you see Shedeur at the back of the line. Thankfully, he don't give a damn. And why Miro is being buried on the depth chart as well. It's not a coincidence. It's very simple. That is the overall plot. Anything else was just a bonus. They have not been planning since last year to take down Coach Prime because they didn't know where Shedeur was coming out at. They just knew he was coming out. But do you see how hard people tried to say he wasn't good in college? Just like they did Milroe. but it didn't work with Shedeur. That's gonna be must see TV. Yeah. Talking about who is that? Wing. Who is that? Doubtful Wing. I can't really see that. Wing. Okay, I'm just gonna have to say that. Wig. I'm gonna have to say that because I can't see the first part. Yeah, that's gonna be that's gonna be one watch documentary because everything is in there. I mean everything. The cameras are always at the house, so they getting everything. So we gonna that's when we gonna find out how he really feel. I mean, we heard about on the Sante Samuel podcast, but there's more. We gonna see what happened on draft night because there was cameras in that house recording. He had already made the announcement that he was going to have this documentary. Believe me, they were already recording. Jay-Z said nothing when they removed air racism for his own. He an employee. I mean, honestly, what do you want him to say? Now the question is, who's doing the Super Bowl halftime show this year? I want to find out. I can't wait till they make that announcement. Shedeur was projected to be a first round pick. Yes, Jerry. So the NFL colluded against Shedeur, and that makes Cleveland a part of the robbery. Because what people forget is it was the owners that took him off the board. Now they gonna pay. See, if it comes to a point where somebody team gotta go, they gonna fight. But see, they don't think it's gonna get to that point because they know people. They got people. I told you who the general counsel was for the most part, right? Okay, where he used to work at. All right. Over 100 people in the house. Yes, hit the like button, please. Hit the like button. We made it to over 100. Yay, yay, yay. It said everything went left after the Jacksonville trade. They did some crap after that pick. Why did they pick Dart to sit him on the bench? Because he's struggling now. Okay, so let's talk about that. Said that. Val. Okay, so let's talk about that. I said early today on the 4 p.m. The huddle, right? I said all you have to do is go back and look at the facility where Chase Daniels made the comment that Jackson Dart was going to sneak into the first round. First of all, he wasn't the only person saying it, but they were all saying it at the same time. Just go back, find that date, and that's going to tell you a lot. They been new. Said at the 4 o'clock huddle, if you look at the date and everything they said about Shedeur afterwards, it is going to all make sense because they knew they was getting Dart. Just like Cleveland knew they was getting Shedeur until March 31st. That's why Kevin Stefanski said, told you God works in mysterious ways. Because after Haslam came out publicly, what owner comes out publicly and say anything other than Jerry Jones? Y'all didn't hear from none of these other owners. We only saw New York's owner in that Saquon situation because somebody filmed it. They could have let the GM come out and say, we took a big swing with Deshaun Watson and missed. No, they was basically threatening his job. All the work you did, let it go. Let Shedeur go because you know what? We got Deshaun Watson. You gonna tell me they just figured that out? This was a plot. The commissioner. I'm worried about your dad. Shedeur like, wait, what? What you worried about him for? Bucky's standing right there. You think they don't know what's going on with their daddy? 2024, 15 black QB started. You don't think they knew what was going to happen in 2025? Of course they did. The record had gone back and forth since 2020. They knew it was coming. And they knew it was this year because they knew when the top 10 Heisman list came out, there was at least 2 black quarterbacks that's going to be in the first round. Because if you're a Heisman candidate, you're a first round draft pick, especially if you're in the top 10. They did everything they could to try to get Shedeur like they got Milroe in college. But because he over there in Alabama, I guess they succeeded. They couldn't succeed with Shedeur, and maybe because of Coach Prime. Maybe they're like, y'all crazy. Coach Prime is talented. So are his kids. Especially Shedeur. He's you got all his receivers in the league. But he not good. All Travis made him look good. That did not stick. Everything they said about Shedeur fell to the wayside, including he should have had an agent, but he wanted to save his money. That just tell me why you jealous. That's what that told me. Because that's stupid. It's a non-negotiable contract. So what the hell? If it was something that you could argue about, it wouldn't be guys out here holding out because they like clearly they won't want to negotiate this, so they just want me to sign it. And now they won't sign it because they don't like the language, and it's five of them. So you don't need an agent because they basically like, here, this is what it is, sign it and get the hell on. And they're like, no. You see, they don't have no lawyers trying to help them straighten it out because it's non-negotiable. It is what it is. Take it or get the hell on. And that might be what they do. They might give up or they might go elsewhere. They might start their own league. I do believe some people are talking and thinking. I really do believe that. It feels like it. So Dart was known. Understand this. Somebody who was a Giants fan came yesterday, Ronnie, and told us that Dart was recommended by who? Eli Manning. That's the Ole Miss connection to the New York Giants. Archie Manning, Eli Manning went to Ole Miss, both played for the Giants. So they went with Arch Manning's son, Eli Manning's recommendation. Was it a recommendation or a directive? Which one was it? Because guess what? I have a theory about who really runs the Giants, especially at the QB position. Here's a hint. I told y'all I saw one of them from the football around with Shedeur and Coach Prime. So was it a recommendation or is that something you say so they don't get wrapped up in this? Or was it a directive? Starting to seem more like a directive, especially with the prank caller with the Ole Miss sweatshirt, sitting with the executives, getting information from the executives. Seems like a directive. I see you. It's gonna get real good. So, Dart, if you go back to when they all started parenting the same message, we were on this podcast and I said, here we go. They said Dart is going to sneak into the first round. I had already said it was going to do something asinine. When they were the famous Shedeur, they was doing something. And then when the narrative started going viral, they all were saying the same thing. I told you, anytime they all saying the same thing, it's something going down. And Chase was so happy. Yep, I think Dart gonna sneak in the first round. He already knew whenever that was that they said it. And that was when, if I had to guess, and I'm probably gonna go back and look now, but if I had to guess, Shedeur started, oh, he's sliding down. I bet that all happened at the same time. They already knew. They knew before the combine. The NFL did not want quarterbacks like Shedeur Sanders now. They knew that before. What is it about Shedeur Sanders? They say they don't want that type of quarterback, that kind of quarterback. And what kind of quarterback is that? Because you took pocket passes. So what you mean? That type of quarterback. What define type? What that mean? Define kind. You mean as in I don't want your kind in my neighborhood? Because that's what it's giving. Now that you see what's happening to Cam, now that you see what happened to Shedeur, now that you know, because I told you what happened to Milrow, I said it. They're gonna get you in college, in the draft, pre-draft, or they gonna get you on the other side in your career like they did Caleb Williams, Bryce Young, Justin Fields. I probably could keep going. So there you go, Val, because that's who they wanted. So now, since and Ronnie, I understand this. She is an avid New York Giants fan. I actually think she was one of the people that kind of got their feelings hurt when we were talking about, New York. Because a lot of people say they're not going to be Giants fans no more because of what they did to Shedeur, right? So she does have some info and she knows some things. And she does seem to be emotionally attached. And she was the one that told us that she also told us a lot of people gonna be in have their feelings hurt on draft night. She told us that. I think somebody else said it too. James. James said it. James said it's gonna be some hurt feelings on draft night. Now James is not a Giants fan. He in Carolina. He in Carolina. He a Panthers fan. Ronnie told us that some people is gonna get their feelings hurt on draft night, and she was here yesterday and told us that Eli recommended Dart. So my question is, do y'all think it was a recommendation or do you think it was a directive from the family, not Eli? And he killed. Rising was a dog. Yep, he was. My good friend is Andre Rison. Yep, Andre Rison was a dog. I just watched this documentary movie, like a biopic on Tubi. It's good. It's about him and Lisa from TLC. And guess what? Coach Prime. They got a character playing Coach Prime, and it talks about their romance, the friendship. I didn't know that Andre Rison was called Showtime, and Coach Prime was called Prime Time. So these two were like brothers. It's good. Y'all should go watch this on Tubi. It's good. Tubi got some good Tubi movies. I guess it's like made for Tubi movies. They have stepped it up. Give us the tea, Unity. All right, Unity. They putting you on the seat. They want you to give us the tea, and I'm gonna be right here because we are hour 31 minutes, so we gonna hang out till we get the tea. All right, I did that for you, Gretchen. Giants ain't happy with Jackson Dart. He will need 3 to 5 years. Right. See, the only thing you can make me think about Jackson Dart was one, it was a directive. It was not a suggestion. Two, he's a placeholder because they don't want to get another quarterback because they want to get who? Now they probably gonna let they allow the grandson to choose where he went to college and he wanted to go to UT. Apparently he does not want to come out of school right now, so he's not coming out in 2026. And they could be staggering it so Beck can come out because they seem to favor him for some reason. I don't know. They already got Miami ranked with Beck, but again, I don't know what they're looking at. So, and he was injured. So, that's special. And, it's just an interesting case. It's just really interesting how this goes down because felt like they were making an asinine move. And I knew it involved Dart. I just didn't know why. Because I knew all of the negativity was planted because it didn't make any sense. And it's like they were going too hard and they were saying stuff that was dumb. Like, he's the worst interview we've ever seen. When Tennessee had already said it was good. The Browns were showing interest, so I didn't know why the Giants were going so hard. And then it became clear at the draft because the Browns was in on it. And guess who knew that? The Giants. Did y'all not notice that after Mike Tomlin, they tried to put it on him. After Mike Tomlin passed on Shedeur, did y'all notice right after that? That was number 21, right? What happened? The Giants traded up to get Dart. They was waiting on Mike Tomlin to not get him, so then they could get Dart as if to say, well, somebody gonna want Dart now, so we better get him because don't nobody want Shedeur. They did that intentionally. They set that up. And the Browns was in on it. And if you think that Haslam liked Shedeur, why would they allow Mary Cabot to antagonize him? They would not at all. Understand that. Why you think Mike Stefanski might be on the hot seat? He the only one came out positive about Shedeur. Why you think Haslam said publicly after it was discussed that Shedeur was going to be their franchise quarterback after Andrew Berry said, yeah, we good with Coach Prime. After the Giants said, we worried about Shedeur being in Shedeur, Coach Prime and Shedeur, some shadow or some shit, whatever. And Andrew Berry came back and said, no, we good with Coach Prime. It wasn't until a public statement was made that could have been a private conversation to Andrew Berry. Why did we have to know you took a big swing and missed with the shot? So they wanted to put it on the record publicly that they were moving away from Shedeur. They were letting us all know because they made it public that they were getting Shedeur. So they made it public. It's a public conversation. That's owner the GM. Hey, you know what? Maybe on second thought, let's just not get Shedeur. They kept it private that they were meeting with Dylan Gabriel. I don't know why when I get on here, I sneeze. This is crazy. But why did they make it public that they were meeting with Dylan Gabriel? Because they didn't want Shedeur to know because they had him on the hook. They just wanted to get him on the hook. Let's see, the Unity give y'all the tea. Remember Pat McAfee told a story about someone seeing Dart throwing the ball around at night. Yeah, I remember that. And it was supposed to show how dedicated. I remember that. He was outside at night throwing the ball around in the parking lot. They were trying to make him look like he was bad. They did the same thing in college. They tore down Monroe to elevate Dart. They tore down Shedeur to elevate Dart. And now look what they got. That's what they did. It's not like you could read his scouting report. I read it. I read it by third movies and it wasn't good. He had already reached his ceiling. I don't know why, but that's what they said. And then when I went back and read about him, I was like, okay, yeah. He's erratic. That's why he had interceptions. Under pressure, he's erratic. He's not that guy. They sold him at that guy, as that guy. And I'm telling you, that's what makes me ask you, do you think it was a recommendation? Or do you think it was a directive? It feels more like a directive. Because he went to Ole Miss too, just like who? And they played for team. And they obviously want to satisfy them, right? So do what you got to do. Makes you question who run the New York Giants. No, they got a GM, but and then the GM's daughter goes to Ole Miss too. Are they unrelated? Very interesting question. That's how you know Ole Miss sweatshirt guy ain't no stranger. You see all these Ole Miss people in this, the GM, the Mannings, and the prank call with executive level information. You see that? Now, do you see it? Yes, in the comments if you now see it. That's not a coincidence. This is executive level information he called during the draft. He knew to say Shedeur was not getting drafted. How would he know that? How would he know that? What is he, psychic? No. It's not a coincidence the Ole Miss connection in the New York Giants and the Mannings. It's not at all. It's not a coincidence that Eli is supposed to be the recommendation. I think it's a directive, and I'm not sure it came from Eli Manning. But I do think the welcome call to Jackson Dart was from Eli Manning, welcoming him to the New York Giants. I see you. New sub. Oh, wow, we got somebody new. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Teach. Thank you so much. Keep cooking. Thank you so much. Receipt, recipe needed. No recipe needed. Thank you. New sub, no recipe needed. Keep cooking. I like that. Val C. Okay, more. It said if you Malik neighbors in New York, you have to be pissed. He was. Malik Neighbors went on a podcast, Carmelo Anthony's. He was. Yes, he was. And I was like, wow, okay. He's been on there. I think it's Carmelo Anthony's podcast, which is really good, by the way. And Shiloh got his numbers. That's what I'm telling y'all. Shiloh up there. Russell Wilson went on there. Very good interview. Very, very good interview. Russ, it's going to be an interesting football season. I ain't saying he Jesus because, we can't do that, but I'm going to tell y'all something. He was definitely sent here by Jesus. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now. To kick Shedeur the way they did and to turn around and have Russ standing there and you see they talking about getting rid of Winston. Why? Because they can't move Russ. Darth showed everybody what he is. And now they look crazy for trading up to get him. They look crazy for taking Dart over Shedeur. Not one time in the draft did you hear anybody, and I mean anybody, say Dart is better than Shedeur. You never heard that. You heard he was sneaking into the first round, and what did I say? If he's sneaking, if he's good, he don't have to sneak. They knew that's what they wanted, and they got it. See, sometimes you gotta let people get what they want. Then they don't really like it so much. Because now remember their job was on the line for doing this. There's some finger pointing happening. Well, they wanted to get him. That's their alarm. And you say that's your friend, so you let them do it. But I'm still fire you because you went ahead with it. And then now we got this prank and this data breach over our head, tying the organization to the league. Show do. And if Daniel Jones, or not Daniel Jones, if Donald Sterling could lose his team for what he did, and rightfully so, this right here qualifies. Big time. Big time. Anybody know why Donald Sterling lost his team? Because he was caught on audio saying what? If the court rules that discovery can be allowed, just saying, I'm probably going to shed tears of joy. I have a lot of friends who played in the NFL. Who? Carl Banks played with the Giants. The owners called the the shot. Then you know if the owners call the shot, then you know that Haslam passed on Shedeur how many times? Tell you who called the shots. Number 47. That's who called the shots. Remember, they didn't want to sell him a team. And then now, what did you see in this draft? He calls the shot. So understand, sir. The owners call the shots, ma'am. Oh, no. The one who announced the draft in 2027 that don't nobody care about in Washington, D.C. is the one that called the shots. Understand that. Checkmate. They might answer to each other, but they clearly, somebody showed us who was in charge. And he knew exactly what he was doing. Jackson Dart ain't Eli Manning. Ole Miss was a miss. It said, you can't defend the indefensible. The fix was in by the NFL owners. They are incestuously close. How many times we said that? To tell you what happened. The owner said, take that entitled so-and-so off the board. They showed it. They showed it. Ain't no backing away from collusion. See, here's the question. They know they can't back away from collusion, but what are they trying to back away from the allegations or the accusations or what we all saw? The pattern of that showing up that we've been talking about. They don't want to be called what? They don't want to be found in violation of what? Again, so soon. Right. Title 7, 1964. Why do you think they get their ducks in a row? The only mistake Dion made was thinking he and his friends and good uh I mean, everybody got their opinion about that. Josh McDaniels is my choice because it did. He was a pocket passer, Brady. Oh, he did for the GOAT pocket passer, Brady. It says Shedeur just happened to end up in Cleveland, where Coach Prime said he didn't want him to be politics, billionaires, power tripping. Yep, could be. Could be that's why they went directly after him. Remember what Prime said when Shedeur was 16? Let's send him there. They knew when the top 10 list dropped, it was the media positioning Shedeur to the Giants, and I wasn't buying it. And the Browns were right there the whole time. When Shedeur went to the combine, remember the hats on his backpack? What were they? The Vikings, the Saints, And who you saw first? The Browns. Who did Shedeur say he played Madden with? The Browns. That's because they had reeled him in. And they used the Super Bowl weekend, bringing him on the Ring of Honor stage with Bill Belichick to do it. Plus, he was in those rooms with them. But see, they forgot there were cameras rolling. Somebody get they got a case. And it ain't hard to make. And that's what information that's available externally. There is information that we don't have internally. Text messages, emails. Yep, the Giants put on a big charade. That's it. That's it. That's what it was. They just wanted to get their guy. And the question is, whose guy was it? See, that's opening another door. So wait a minute. Y'all did this. Now see that's a real Saints Falcons rivalry right there. Cause they got their weight in if they made the recommendation that I think was a directive, and then they came on and welcomed him to the Giants. Seemed like a directive to me. And they knew exactly what was going on with Shedeur. That's the I told y'all I might have to look at some people a little differently after this. Giants ain't even had a exactly why dog. They were the last ones to have a black QB. And then what? They have never had a black starter. People have tried to argue me down. No, I do my homework. To be a starter, you have to play the majority of the season. Unity say, nope, I'm quiet now, no tea. Tina said, Unity said, he doesn't want to share. Unity, don't be in your feelings. This is a debate. This is what we do. Like, look, we just sorry, but we gonna overrule you. He don't like him either. He played him and dropped him like a hot potato after he sent Andrew Berry to reel him in and get him on the hook. Coach Prime too. No, we don't have no problem with Coach Prime. Hell, they played Andrew Berry. That's like that. Now they sending him out here, and he needs to learn how to say no. Now they got him out here talking about, Jacksonville made us an offer we couldn't refuse. We made that deal 2 weeks before the draft. See how they do stuff before the draft? Guess what else was done and decided before the draft? Now, mind you, Shedeur got text messages and phone calls, phone numbers of who called him and said what to him. I did find it interesting that Stefanski was the one who said, remember I said God works in mysterious ways? Andrew Berry was the one that was condescending on the call because he got paid. So yeah. And don't be in your feelings, don't worry. Unity to my Tina Davis, LOL. Come on now. Yeah, you got the T. You can't tell us who you know and don't drop that now. We love you, Unity. We love you. It came from the Maras. Yeah. 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 No. No. I see you. No. Could Myra keep Saquon Barkley in New York? No. He couldn't even do that, and he owned the team. That's crazy. See, like he just get random. See, like everybody just do what they want to do, and he just don't get no sleep. If he couldn't keep Saquon Barkley in New York, no. Jimmy Horn told all those QBs they're not all of that because they would have made behind they would have made it behind the traffic that Shedeur was behind. Oh, he ain't lying. He not lying. Gretchen, he's not lying. Jimmy is right. No, they wouldn't have. Facts. It said, dang, you putting all the pieces together. Yes, Wig, absolutely. That's what we do here. It said you should be on the CSI Atlanta. That's hilarious. That's funny as hell. CSI Atlanta. They got a lot going that can probably keep me busy too. That's funny. Thank you. I take that as a compliment. It said would not have made it behind the traffic that Shedeur was behind. I totally agree, Gretchen. I totally agree. Shedeur, I totally agree, but it was Confederate. Confederate? They gonna the Giants are still mad at Coach Prime from 1989. That was revenge. It's not revenge. I know that. And I know I see you is getting ready to come back around. Cause anytime somebody sit outside and think of gazebo stand at their lake, see you, I'm like, I know why you mad. I'm like, oh Lord, I'm gonna get it. Myself, this person. Like, and me, I'm trying to figure it out. Now, was he telling Chickadale? Because well, his grandson did play at Jackson State with Coach Prime, so that's ultimate stabbing in the back. But now we talking about dark, and I told y'all we gonna have to look at some people differently. And now we know who the recommendation came from. Put that with who made the phone call, welcome him to the Giants. Saints versus Falcons rivalry. Hmm. The 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 owner of the Giants couldn't even keep Saquon Barkley. Hmm. So take the owner off the table. He couldn't even keep Saquon Barkley. It ain't him. So let's talk about everybody with an association to Ole Miss. Matter of fact, and the same people who recommended Jackson Dart also recommend the GM for his job. Hmm. Ole Miss. I told y'all I live in Atlanta and I ran into some people from Ole Miss. Hmm. So now you gotta wonder how the GM got his job. Do they have any limited partnerships, majority stake or something? Because why can they get their way when we know the owner couldn't even keep Saquon Barkley? Whole misconnection? Is that how the GM got his job? Who was really wearing the sweatshirt that made the prank? Because we know he had executive level information. Hmm. So I think it's so we done took the owner off the board. He couldn't keep Saquon Barkley, so no. They said it was a recommendation. I see a directive. That Ole Miss connection. Giants owner goes to the GM go to Ole Miss. The daughter go to Ole Miss. Maybe he went there too. Mm, I see you. He ain't talking about the GM. Just know that. Yep, I agree. 47 oversaw and dictated. There's no mistake about that. It's absolute. When I saw that he made the announcement for the 2027 draft, what did I say? Does anybody know what a 2026 draft is? No, and we don't even care. And it's in DC. I mean, what else you need? That's a smoking gun right there. That's how you know he had an impact. And they need protection. But now what's going on? That's all up in I feel like that document finna lift up off of a judge's desk and move forward. Maybe that's what I was waiting on. Because people on the inside know that there were cracks. And we're not on the inside of that and how we want to be, because that's crazy. Now the Browns are scratching their heads. They didn't think he would be this good. That's a lie. Exactly. Good Shedeur is here's what the Browns thought. The Browns thought that they were going to be able to execute the plan that they came up with to the fullest. Frank was a part of it. What y'all don't know that maybe Discovery can tell us, because we know that there's a waiver wire attached, so they was going to cut it. Was he going to be Mr. Irrelevant? Was he going to be an undrafted free agent? If he's an undrafted free agent, isn't he at the mercy of them to pick him up? Did they want him to beg for all 32 teams to get him? His money's already low, so it's not a money thing to go from 144 to undrafted because there is a minimum salary. $2.9 million is what Shiloh ended up with. Shedeur ended up with 4. Okay. It's not about the money. Nobody stopped the slide or the push but one person. And that's the person that announced where the 2027 draft in DC is happening. So how far was he going to go? Because Andrew Berry said it. We was just waiting to see how far he was going to go because they knew where he was going. Right out the door. That's why they was mad he didn't show up in Green Bay because they wanted to do him like they did Lamar Jackson on TV so they could keep coming back to the green room. Well, it's a good thing he didn't show up in Green Bay because he been locked out the first round. Sound like they did that when they realized he wasn't coming. When they saw he was having a draft party, they was like, well, lock him out. That's what they did. The NFL owners that have been trying to lowball the running back position. Thank you. Who is that? DL. Didn't I say that earlier today? I said they don't value the running back position. Asked the Jets, it went where? To Vegas. They don't value the running back position. Asked the Jets, it went where? Where Tom Brady at? To block. That's why they had those bland faces when they called his name. Look at the video. They were not happy. The Browns didn't want Shedeur. No, at all. Nobody was going to draft him. Right. No, nobody was going to draft him and not even have him. He was told to get him. Because why? CYA. Well, y'all was going to draft him anyway, and your quarterback room full, so we could continue on with the waiver wire. That's why I don't have 100% confidence he going to be on the team, and I don't think he does either. No. I think he has learned to just let the expectations go. He said his spirituality is the only thing that elevated while he's there. He said, thank you for an opportunity. Which means it could be over. I think people gonna be shocked. I think the reason why the media is keep saying what they saying is because there's something going on. The question is, where would he go? He was already on the negotiation list for Canada, but then he might not be going nowhere because of all of this pressure from the fans. You got fans pressuring via a lawsuit, the league itself. You got fans pressuring the organization, the team, a franchise. That's a lot of pressure. That's why we know where the 2027 draft is in DC, and we don't even know. Hasn't even been announced. Nobody even cares. Why do you think they let him do that all of a sudden? They need protection, but that's up in smoke, and they know it too. So they might wake up and go, you know what, abandon mission and just go, because we ain't got no protection. But something in me tells me that document that's sitting, that was kicked from one judge to the other, is getting ready to somehow get itself off the desk and move forward. It's not frivolous because they already know if they say it is, he gonna kick it out and he gonna appeal if they kick it out. They already know that. It's called legal strategy. So what should I do? Let it go forward and stall. When do they have to turn over a year's worth of documentation? Clearly, you're gonna give people some time to do that. To try to get this situation happening in 50 states under control. I don't see that happening. But I do feel like that document is going to move forward. I'm telling you, the day that they announce, if that's what comes to it, that's going to be something. You already see them getting their ducks in a row, so they're anticipating something because they rarely position themselves for just in case. They was bold letting them flags fly. They didn't care about nothing. They felt confident that they had the full support of somebody, and then they did not. So now I'm getting my ducks in a row. One judge kicks it to the other. They can't sit there forever. But then let's see how much time they get for the next stage to prepare everything that they've been out here trying to destroy and discovery. And some people say they can turn it over at 2 minutes before the deadline. We're not giving the other side any time to read it. Interesting. RB is hella physical. and career-ending injury is guaranteed. They don't value the running back position. So when I saw Genty go to Vegas, I knew what the play was. Just like Geno, there was no reason for Geno Smith to leave at all. To leave where? Seattle. People say Seattle did not want to pay him, but they paid Sam Darnold. They know that Shedeur is ready for prime time. No pun intended. Yes, Jerry, I totally agree. I totally agree. Yep. It said, why would the organization not help him if that's their man? I don't understand that. I just got here. Maybe I'm misunderstanding. Somebody explain. Yeah, somebody explain. They still mad. They gonna ride Shedeur until they can't no more. They wasting their time because he not. Mark my words, we dealing with pure evil. Oh, I know we dealing with pure evil. That's why I'm telling you, you ain't right about Haslett. Because he's part of that same consortium. They are excessively close. Don't ever move past that statement. That's a powerful statement. Incestuously. Incestuously close. Not a word I would use, but that's the word they use. So, yep, they doing evil for sure. And why would he be the only good one after 6 times? Not at all. That was 47's doing. It is not an email thing that Saquon beat the Maras and now. Oh, it's not an email thing that Saquon beat the Maras and now running backs are back getting big contracts. I think Derrick Henry got one this year too. Yep, that's true. That's true. It is kind of shifting. It's crazy that Tennessee let Derrick Henry go though. I think that's weird. Oh, I believe that. They know. I told you. I said the internet showed up for Shedeur like they showed up for Travis. And I stand by that. And they see it. Sam Darnold. Yep, facts. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But they moved him to block the QB position. So there would be no way. Because people, I mean, when you trade him for the third, he got traded for a third round pick. And he said he knew he wanted a big contract. And it looked like it was innocent because why? That's his old coach. They had a choice in who they chose to hire. They knew before they made that move how it could ripple in effect and what it would block. Ashton Genty and Geno Smith were both the block Shedeur, but they weren't blocking Shedeur. They was blocking Tom Brady. So he need to question his relationships. But he know how they work. He ought to know. He know how they protect certain people. So many calling evil good. Shedeur deserves better. Yep, he does. The Browns might trade him, but I was wondering if that Jacksonville thing has any merit. Again, I can't see where he going with that contract, but you never know. In any opinion, the Browns will release. Oh, in my opinion, Jerry said the Browns will release Shedeur to save face. The fix remain in place, and 47 is still watching. That's true, but he kind of occupied though. I mean, I agree with the first part of what you're saying, and I know 47 is still watching, but they let him announce the 2027 draft, so he probably good. He probably good. Henry was supposed to be washed up. Oh, really? They said Russell Wilson was washed up. So that's why Tennessee, Wild Dog, Tennessee was let go Derrick Henry because he washed up. That's crazy. I agree with you. D agrees with you, Jerry. You think it's a setup for Jerry Jones to get Shedeur cheap? I mean, to do what? I mean, they did. See, maybe y'all right. I mean, that's really what should have happened. See, that's no, it was collusion. Even Skip Bayless said, so Jerry Jones didn't get Shedeur. Well, that's just amazing. And it is. Even Stephen A. say, all I can think about is collusion here because that's all that's happening. They colluded against him to not get him. They did the same thing to Lamar Jackson. They did the same thing to Terrell Pryor. They just got found guilty of it right before the Super Bowl against Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson, and Kyler Murray. And y'all think they like Sean Payton showed you that, right? Why did he have to go to Pittsburgh at number 2? Why is it Mike Tomlin got to get told what to do? Why is it that Andrew Berry and Mike Tomlin are the only two people that were told publicly what to do in a goddamn draft? Mike Tomlin was told what to do with Shedeur, and they were scared he wasn't going to do it. So they made the phone call in the green room on speaker where everybody could hear it, which was essentially threatening his job. And then everybody had to hear Andrew Berry get his job threatened. We took a big swing and missed. So let's bury ourselves from that. But they both remain to keep getting played. So whatever they get, they deserve. We as a community have to stay on their necks. We just gonna tell the truth. And we're not gonna repeat it 150 million times. There is a point God gonna be like, let's move on. That's just how it goes. Shedeur is still being treated like trade bait in Cleveland. You know what? And I think he knows it. And I think he's fine with it. When he said thank you for an opportunity, understand the Sanders are very intentional people. Okay? Coach Prime is intentional, and it's the second time I've been proven right about his post that he put out, eventually leading to something. We don't understand it when we read it, but then in about 2 or 3 days, it materializes. This has happened twice now within the last few weeks since the draft. What Shedeur said, thank you for an opportunity. I have time. I'm not trying to see down the line in the future. I'm just learning the playbook. I'm just gonna be ready. I'm never full. I'm always hungry. I'm working on the small things in the weight room, being the best teammate I could be and the most polished QB I could be. He auditions every day, whether y'all know it or not. The blame game is happening behind the scenes. They try to figure out because Cleveland don't want to keep him because it's probably turning the organization upside down. And they never were going to keep him after they weren't going to get him. They were going to get him, then they weren't. Now we got Dylan. What do? We're going to look stupid if we cut him. We went and got Kenny Pickett and took him off a Super Bowl winning team. I could see him being pissed with them too. Come get me off a Super Bowl winning team. And then I come over here and now you want me to go to the Saints? That show? That's talking about the circus. Talk about circus. Then again, Shedeur could end up in New Orleans as planned because, see, y'all have to understand something. These people had conversations with Shedeur. He believed somebody was taking him at some point. And I remember watching him on Max Crosby's podcast. He seemed to be the only one to not know where he was going at the last minute. Because why? On March 31st, which is almost less than a month before the draft, Cleveland switched it up. So maybe he thought Tom Brady would show. We don't see Cleveland doing the right thing. And that could be a sign that they are going to trade him. Hell, now New York is trying to trade Winston. What if they end up with Shedeur and Winston end up back in Cleveland? Does anybody see that? Does anybody see that? They just got Winston. Now they want to trade him. They just got Pickett. Now they want to trade him. Sounds like instability. Like somebody don't know what the hell they're doing, or somebody trying to cover their tracks, or make something look like something else, or prevent something else from happening. Because this is instability. This is ridiculous. Why would you get Winston and now you're gonna trade him? Why would you get Pickett off a Super Bowl winning team and now you're gonna trade him? So are they get ready to swap Winston with Pickett and send Pickett to New York and send Winston to back to Cleveland? I don't see that happening. But if they trade Winston, he going somewhere. I don't hear nobody else talking about trading no quarterbacks. Only the Giants and only what they want, Kirk Cousins. So they're gonna send Winston to Atlanta and Kirk Cousins to Cleveland. What they gonna do in New York? They gonna send Pickett there? They moving Winston for a reason. They got 2 black quarterbacks and they never had one starter. And now they want to move Winston because they know they can't move Russ because of Dart. So now I got to get you out of here. Where he gonna go? No, no, no. And the eights. Yes, the eights. That's right. When the eights go marching in. That's facts, ladies, guys. That's facts. It said, can y'all say dysfunction? Yes. Wow, dog. That's what it is. This is ridiculous. Never seen anything like this. Like, it's not like they got Kenny Pickett from a Super Bowl winning team. Why? What you think he was gonna do? And you saw why he was a backup. He has history. That's like ignoring Dart's history and look what's happening. Same thing. Yes, can y'all say dysfunction? All right, we 2 hours in. This has been a minute since we did a 2 hour podcast. That means we having fun. No, I don't think Cleveland is letting 12 go. He making them do too much. He making them too much money. I mean, you do know that when Trump called them stupid, that's why he called them stupid, because Shedeur could make them a gaggle of money, and they did not care. They have sacrificed the brand. They have sacrificed elevating the league. They have sacrificed fun football games. They have sacrificed sold out for the next 4 years. They have sacrificed money. They have sacrificed everything to preserve what? That's all that matters. That's all that has ever mattered. This is not a new concern of theirs or a new preservation item. It's the same thing. It's always been the priority. It's just what was at stake in 2025, which is exactly why 16, 17, and 18 are being kept away from QB1. Pre-draft, college, and now career. Just like I said, 5 QBs on one team ain't gonna make it anyways. In New York has 4. There's usually only 2 or 3 active QBs on the roster because they don't let these old guys with 2% battery go. Why? Why? Because I need them to block. I need them to block Shedeur. I need them to block. I need them to block because what the hell, they failed. That's like Daniel Jones. That's why Anthony Richardson being hurt. I'm like, look, Anthony, I want you to get good, but I want you to do well, but let this happen right here. Because they gave him $14 million to prove himself after he proved himself in New York. So go ahead and have fun. I can't not wait to see how this season turned out because it's either about to be a bunch of mediocrity or everybody that is held back is about to ascend all at once. And it's going to snow and it's going to be sunny at the same time. And it's going to rain and everything going to all happen. The sun, the moon, and the stars going to come together. Because this is about to be crazy. Why? Somebody said it. Why are you holding on to these old guys like this? Because I'm blocking these black guys. And I need somebody to block. And they don't even care if they're not good. They don't even care if they sell mediocrity, which means they don't care about the fans. They don't even care about the sport. They don't even care about the competition. Just need to block these dudes. It's like they so fixated on it, they can't think about nothing else, and everything else is being exposed. They being exposed all over the place. But they so fixated on holding back black QBs who can start that they willing to set the whole damn league on fire as they have done. And promise you, if that damn lawsuit take one more step forward, closer to discovery, it's gonna be some heads rolling. It is. And they ain't kicked it out yet. And he already said he gonna feel it. So we're gonna be right back here. I'm telling y'all, this is about to get good. We need to just get us some popcorn, turn your notifications on, because we're gonna be live. This is crazy. I want y'all to know this is a corporation. Corporations don't function like this. They have federal rules and workplace compliance that they have to abide by. You cannot willy-nilly violate repeatedly the Civil Rights Act of 1964 or 82 or whatever year you think that there's one that applies. You can't do that without being shut down or a hostile takeover or sued under the damn bill. This is crazy. And they suck. Because why? If I let Shedeur start now, what the hell did I do in the draft? That means everything that I was fixated on, I have to abandon. And they don't want to do that because they've been working too hard and too long. This been since 1920, this fight to keep black QBs from taking over. But they created these guys like this because they made it so hard for them out of college and don't think they're not working with them either. Why do you think the list of the quarterbacks right now who's supposed to be good in college looks like it does? You think the Heisman Committee just wanted to keep Shedeur out? I'm sure that, but I'm sure it was other people who they had conversations with. If Shedeur was on the stage with Travis, would Shedeur have been the number one pick in the draft? Yes. Did I want him to be the number one pick in the draft? No. I don't want Shedeur to be 16. Shedeur got to be 17. The story don't work with Cam. The story don't work with Milrow. We can scapegoat Coach Pryor and did. That's why Shedeur was 17. That's why it was the Browns. And that's why Charles Woodson is there. So they don't look what? That means this go all the way back to the Vegas Super Bowl, which is why they rushed through his ownership. And I reported it before they voted on it. Let that sink in. The Giants made Tyrod Taylor a third damn string QB. Oh, yeah. He came in the era where they kept moving people around. Russ have been how many teams? He came in the same era, 2011, 2012, 2013. See, every year, every span has an era of something that they weaponize. Instability is being weaponized. The QB rotation, moving them from team to team, switching them to wide receiver. There's something that benefits. I can put some timeline together and put everybody what has happened to them and hold it up and put them all together in the same, categorize them all based on what they endured, and you see the pattern. I see it before that. QBs don't thrive in Cleveland. Shedeur would be better off leaving. Right. And see, to me, what I think Shedeur is doing, I think his spirituality did grow there, and that's what needed to happen if he's going to make it in this league. He got to be like Russ. He has to be like Russ. Russ don't expect nothing, and he expects the stuff. He ain't worried about the Super Bowl. I just expect stuff. Whether he believes it or not, that's what he expects. And you see, it looked like it's getting ready to happen. That's a miracle in itself. We could see a miracle in Cleveland. Because look at who the other three QBs are. So Shedeur might just stay right there. Because that Red Seagull part. Because we already know 38% Dillon. We already know what Kenny Pickett is, and we think he out of there. Then that leaves Joe, and you see him getting cool with Shedeur. Did you see how he giving Shedeur advice now? To me, he warmed up with Shedeur. The first day Shedeur was like, you dance? He was like, I've never done a public dance in my life. But then today, he's showing him stuff. I think it's going to be those two. And I'm okay with that. All right, y'all, we're going to be out of here because we can be talking to blue in the face. Because there's a lot. It's a lot. See, now we see it's not just Shedeur. Now you see 16, 17, 18. Now you see Cam held back. You see Milrow being held back. You see Shedeur being held back. Now you get to see what I've been saying. 16, 17, 18. 2025 was going to be the year since 2024. They knew. They talked about the other records breaking. Nobody wanted to touch on this one. We know what? We move forward with what we know. Our knowledge has grown. The recommendation for Dart came from who? The Mannings. They say Eli Manning. Isn't that the person that welcomed him to the Giants? What else do we know? The owner couldn't keep Saquon Barkley, and he was the owner of the team. Who dealt him away? The GM. Where his daughter go to school? Ole Miss. Who made the prank call? Ole Miss sweatshirt guy. So do he belong to the GM family? Or do he belong to the Mannings or somewhere in between? Because it's a whole lot of Ole Miss happening here. That's not lost on us. So we move forward in getting closer to some things. We don't know what we're getting closer to. We just know we have more information than we had before. We know that at some point, Chase Daniels and everybody else was parenting what? Jackson Dart could sneak into the first round. They already knew. So you could go back to that date and look at everything that happened to Shedeur and see if it escalated, if other people joined in, if other people dropped off, where he started dropping to, what the narrative was about Shedeur, and then you can see Yeah, they knew then where it was going. So they've been knew. Just like they knew the NFL didn't want quarterbacks like Shedeur before the combine. This was a plot, and they being exposed. They're gonna hold you back until we create our own league. I do feel like that. I do feel like this is a message. They gotta start their own league. And not just for them, but for the next generation coming up behind them. All the little kids playing flag 7-on-7 or tackle 7-on-7, who out here having a pure good time, who gonna wanna watch Shedeur play on TV. What about the kids asking Shedeur about Travis? That's innocence. You really want to turn him over to that? Feel like the guys before this class failed every last one of them because y'all should have called them up and said, hey, this is what it really is. But see, not everybody want people to know that they being used. So they let you believe the lie. Like Chris Carter, that's crazy. I don't even know what he said. But I know it's crazy for him to come at Coach Prime. When he owned the inside, he had to endure himself. If not, he saw people endure. First, Shedeur say, I know what my dad went through. So he know his dad went through something. But see, they not wrong for believing that the league was about talent, because that's what it was about in 2024 and all the years before. And they saw what happened to other people. They saw what happened to Lamar. So this was a wake up call. Start your own league, and you got to do it for the next generation. Coach Prime was the one that interviewed Lamar Jackson, and that's what tipped me off. So they was planning something because I remember this guy on the desk somewhere around the 10th of March, I think, saying when they were talking about what happened to Lamar. They said, and they planned these shows, so they knew what they was gonna say. They said they were talking about what happened to Lamar, and somebody on the end of the desk said, "Did that interview Lamar Jackson?" It was Coach Prime, and it was like somebody said Coach Prime, and they went, "Huh?" They already knew. I knew 14 days before the draft, so did they. It takes mama sending you back outside to fight when you run home. Yep, that's true. After CB gets away from Atlanta, then we can bring Shador home. I don't know if Shador going. Somebody get ready to make a move. We know Winston moving, and he got to move somewhere. So we know they just signed him to a 2-year contract now that is guaranteed. And they said trade. They didn't say cut. So somebody is getting ready to make a move. And I told y'all, Russ ain't going nowhere. People say Russ need to pack. No, he don't. Because they ain't gonna have no quarterback. My question was, why Danny DeVito, whatever his name is, why he don't get moved? Why do Winston have to move, not the DeVito guy? You see, they try to prevent something. Why not move the 4th string guy? He easy to move. Explain that. So what they trying to prevent? What has Aaron Rodgers done in the last 6 seasons that deserve all this media coverage? Nothing. He one of the 2% battery lifers. That's all that is. They're a club. And they all know it. Shedeur would be great in Atlanta. We got Michael Penix Jr. It's 31 other teams out here. 30. It's a 28 or 29. Let's go to the other 29 because we got Michael Penix Jr. and they did him wrong last year. So he finally got his start. And Shedeur need to be somewhere he can start. Shedeur is pro ready. Cam is pro ready. Those two can start. I don't know about Milroe 100%. I really don't. I know they lied on him. I know they scapegoated him. I know he got an arm on him, and I wanted him to work out with who? Select QB. I wish he had. Because having the best agent in football did not help him because they didn't even understand themselves what was really going on here. He probably could have had Jesus and still would have got drafted high because they willing to fight that too. At this point, if I'm them, I'm done with Shedeur because clearly we can't hold him down. But you see, they keep trying to hold down Russ. Have they given up? People say Russ need to pack his bags. Seems like Winston the one packing his bags. But they still playing in Russ' face because they paid Aaron Rodgers more than they paid Russ. And Aaron Rodgers did not take his team to no kind of playoff at all. And Russell Wilson did. And they still booted him out the QB1 spot. So we gonna get out of here because we're gonna continue this conversation tomorrow because we can be talking about this for days because it's a lot to talk about. It's not just about Shedeur. It's about 16, 17, and 18. Now we see how the other guys are being treated. Now we done brought in New York in the purview. We got way more information on New York we expected to have. Hell, we just might exactly figure out who the hell sat there and made that phone call. Never know. Not that we tried, but we got more information than we had before, and we didn't ask for that either. After the Falcons get rid of Kirk Cousins, then Shedeur can come home. Oh, I want Shedeur and Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix Jr. on the same team. See, that's the problem. People are willing to do that. No, these guys are starters, and that's what they're fighting. See, they holding on to 2% battery lifers because they don't want these guys to start. They don't want to admit that they pro ready. They don't want to admit that the NFL is not some phenomenon that you got to be a brain surgeon to learn it and get it. They don't want to admit that they lie. These guys' intellectual capacity is just fine. They don't want to admit that because they've been running on that since 1920. Lamar Jackson got smart and made his mom his agent. And I don't think they like that. I really thought that's why they held him back at first till I learned the whole story. They tried everything. He too short. He should be a wide receiver. But you see, they were not willing to leave him undrafted. You see that? They just embarrassed him and made him go late. And he won the Heisman, which means they didn't give a damn about the Heisman. Same thing to Bryce Young. He didn't go late, but he didn't go late, but he got sacked excessively. Same thing with Caleb Williams. Travis ought to be lucky he's not a quarterback. You're right. Aaron Rodgers ain't did nothing. And they are going with Aaron, who it's about that good old boy system. Right. 2% battery lifers. Yep, that's it. That's just another way to say it. Yep, they don't want to admit it. Nope, they don't want to admit it. Jerry said they are probably plotting behind closed doors. Facts. The Players Association is quiet as a church mouse. You got to wonder. You have to wonder. People have always questioned that NFL Players Association. They have always accused them of not standing up for the players. They can't even get respect for the players in the locker room to keep the media out until they get dressed. So what good are they? This just was crazy. I'm gonna tweet Stephen A. that 2% battery life line. Yeah, do it. I hope to hear that on the show. Some euphemisms I hope to hear somewhere. But that's one of them. Right, y'all. I'm gonna get out of here. Good night. We'll be back tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. to talk about the latest. They'll be back at minicamp, so I'm sure we'll get some more information. We're growing in our knowledge about New York, who has entered our purview. I said I want to see what's going on at Miro, and now I know what's going on with Russell Wilson. See how that works? You could make plans, and God gonna laugh. So we'll be back tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Which is lunch and straight. So hopefully I'll see y'all tomorrow. This was awesome. We made it to 2 hours and 28 minutes. And we are still talking. So there's a lot here. So stay tuned. Make sure your notifications are on. I feel like that lawsuit about to move any day, or we're gonna get some new info about it. If so, breaking news. So make sure your notifications are on. Thank y'all so much. This was wonderful. I truly appreciate it. Thank you to my new subs. Thank you to my new members. Thank you to my media team. Thank y'all for just hanging out. Thank y'all for joining us today. Thank y'all for the engagement. Thank y'all to my day ones, Gracie and Kiel. Thank y'all so much. Media team, Jerry, Tina, Charlotte, Salafi for holding it down. Thank y'all so much. I'll see y'all tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on What She Said Sports. This was awesome. Can I come back? Yes, Unity, you can come back. You can come back. We don't have no problem with it. We enjoy different perspectives. Have a good night. We made it to 100. All right. If y'all see the video on TikTok, IG, Twitch, X, make sure y'all like the video and don't be surprised because they starting to kind of go out a little bit. Thank y'all so much. Facebook too. Good night. I enjoyed y'all.